In this video, we will demonstrate how to prepare for deploying DX NetOps Flow. To prepare for deploying Flow, we need to prep a staging system and configure at least 3 systems to host a Kubernetes cluster. This Kubernetes cluster will in turn host the Flow application. Before deploying Flow in a DX NetOps environment, review the following minimum requirements. Download the Flow Kubernetes distribution package from the Broadcom support site. Install DX NetOps version 22.2.7 or higher, and DX NetOps Performance Management 22.2.x or higher. Have available the NetOps IP domain ID, the IP addresses and ports of the performance management server, the data aggregator, and data repositories, and the login credentials for performance management and the data repositories. Have at least 3 available Linux systems to be used as the Kubernetes cluster. It is strongly recommended to use CentOS RHEL Linux distributions, version 7 or higher, for these systems, and each individual system must have at least 16 CPUs, 32 GB of RAM, and 150 GB of disk space. Additionally, the VAR directory should be in a file system with at least 100 GB disk space. Have one Linux system available for the staging server. This system should have at least one CPU, 4 GB of RAM, and 80 GB of disk space. To prepare the staging system for deploying Kubernetes and Flow, log into the staging system console as root. We'll be running the following commands. First, install the EPEL yum repository with the command shown. Next, install Python 3 with the command shown. Install Python libraries with the command shown. Install Ansible with the command shown. Install kubectl with the command shown. Finally, install Helm with the command shown. With these tools and libraries installed, the staging system is prepped for deploying Flow. Next, we need to prepare the Linux systems for hosting a Kubernetes cluster. To do this, we first need to create passwordless superusers on each system. Log into one of the Linux systems. Create a user with the command adduser followed by the username. Set a password for the new user with the passwd command. Finally, remove the password and grant the user sudo powers with the command shown. Repeat this process in each of the Linux systems to be used in the Kubernetes cluster. Next, we must install and run an NFS server in each Linux system. Run the commands shown in order to install NFS. Start and enable the NFS server. And check the status of the NFS server. Note that the engine used to deploy Kubernetes, Rancher Kubernetes Engine 2, has a known issue, which requires disabling the firewall. To disable the firewall on each system, run the commands shown. Repeat this process of installing and enabling NFS and disabling the firewall in each of the Linux systems to be used in the Kubernetes cluster. With these processes complete, our staging system is ready, and our Linux systems are prepared to deploy Kubernetes and DX NetOps Flow.